Hello everyone, I'm Silverraptor and welcome back to another Wargame Red Dragon video, practicing for Warno. So, you might be thinking why I'm releasing the British video when I said I got all of them done months ago right now. And the answer to that is that I thought I had released it already. I don't know, it just got into my mind. I thought I released a British video. Then I saw Warno say we're releasing Britain and reading all that stuff, and I was thinking, wait a minute, did I? And I was going to my YouTube channel, I'm like, that doesn't seem right, it's not here. And I went through my list of saved videos, and I'm like, I don't see it recorded either, so I guess I didn't record it, which is actually pretty convenient because Britain's now finally being released, and I can actually release it as a thematic moment. So here we are, I'm playing as Britain. This was played several months ago, and I'm playing with Hotel Mama, Hydrofix, and I'm going against Plaba, Cheesy Cheese, and Meat Horse Array. I love these names. So Hydro's covering over to the left-hand side. Hotel Mama is just, securing our area across this side of the river. And as for me, I'm going for the jugular. See, we're on gunboat diplomacy. And if you're on this side of the map, there's only one way you can win. Well, there are several ways you can win, but one main way that you can for sure have a chance on winning, you have to cross the river at the start and secure this. You have to keep your foothold across the river to be able to keep pushing in. If you get pushed all the way out of the river, it is almost impossible to come back. Especially since this is destruction. I don't play Conquest, I play destruction, and a lot of people are going, ew, gross, but I don't care, I like destruction. So, let's get this going. So here it is. I'm going down here into the center. As you can see, I've got quite a bit of a convoy set up here. I've got myself some Chieftain Mark IIs. These are actually a pretty good tank due to the fact that they're only 35 points, but they've got pretty good armor and the firepower, especially the 4 AG. I've got a bunch of Saxons and Centurion AVREs. Those are going to be really good. And I'm also firing some smoke so that I can cover my approach as I come across. A couple of lynxes. H7s are coming in. I guess I am landing them here instead of like a backup point. I could have, that's why. I was going to try to go across the river, but I saw that they have a bunch of AA helicopters, and I'm like, no, that's not a good idea. So, across with land troops we go. DH is going after the UH-60P. It does take a hit. It does go down before it can drop off the units. We've got a couple of ninjas here, and they're going to be able to shoot. It looks like those Hinds used up all of their AA missiles. And meanwhile, I am getting across while all of this is going on. One ninja goes down, but they are shooting quite a bit of the stuff. Oh, I am playing Conquest. Oh, wait. I guess I went into a Conquest game, and I didn't even realize it. Just tell me how long it's been since I played this video that I forgot that this was a Conquest or Destruction. But anyways, we're playing Conquest, so a bunch of people say, oh, less ill. Ew. Alright, so SAS are going up. I'm trying to get them so I can cut off all of those aircraft, see if I can try to shoot them down, as well as try to hold off the enemy forces. Gurkhas and SAS are also going onto this town here as I am dispersing and spreading out all of my troops. I've got a couple of Milan 2s here as backup, ready to go forward. Scimitars took a pot shot at a BMD but didn't do much damage, and you have a lot of infantry here, so I do need to be prepared that they are going to come across. So I'm getting all my troops into position. Meanwhile, we've got a machine gun duel. Actually, the Prague and the Hueys actually have an advantage over the Mi-24A because the Mi-24A only has a regular kind of machine gun. These have miniguns. Though, that aircraft certainly evened it up. I think that the Yak 141, based upon the brief silhouette that I saw, so he needs to get that out. But he did get all of his stuff across the forest, so he's in prime position to take over Alpha. He's taken over Delta. Hotel's taken over Echo, and he actually is able to get some troops across this river and secure it to prevent the enemy coming forward. They're dropping rocket artillery because they saw the SAS over here. I moved my SAS out into the other building to try to get away from the rockets. That, not a moment too soon, those blocks are kind of flattened. But anyways, my entire position is to just be annoying as possible and to just keep this bunched up position here as I figure out how to continue to push forward or defend the area. A couple of Chieftain Mark 11s coming up. these have longer range. I believe I'm bringing them over here so that they can fire across and help better secure this side of the area while I try to secure India as well. So Hotel Mama going over to the right-hand side. He's still consolidating his position, but hopefully we can get this entire side of the river taken and then push forward. As a lull in the fighting has appeared. Oh, except they are landing Moskaya Picotas backed up by a Nanushka to try to push them off the island, so those Lad Stingers are not long for this world. Lafayette is capturing Alpha, so that is going to keep it secure for the time being. As over on the right-hand side, we are engaging. Fusiliers are revealing the VDV as my Centurion Averies are opening up and doing as much damage as they possibly can. Chieftain Mark IIs are also opening up with their 4 HE power. Commandosi are also showing up. These Fusiliers, they're throwaway. I'm deliberately firing to reveal the enemy forces so that I can try to shoot them up as much as possible. And then the smoke mortars are coming in. So I'm actually going to be charging out through the smoke in order to be able to try to fire at the enemy when they least expect it. VDV are actually coming forward right as my Centurion AVRE comes forward. He takes a hit, misses with a firing computer reset. I thought I reversed him, but I didn't do it in time as the VDV are being attacked by the SAS, who are not in a good place because they only have an M16. They don't have a light machine gun, as they're going to try to push forward with the Commandosi. So I'm in a little bit of a trouble here. Milan 2 is actually going to be firing at the BMD-3 that's just parked there, and actually take one out, so that is actually good. Green Jackets are going to try to hold off as the Chieftain Mark IIs and the Centurion Avery do a lot of damage to VDV. Centurion Avery completely cleans that up, as my other forces are going to move around, see if they can try to get an angle on the Commandosi, but then I guess I think better of it. Oh, because of the MiG-29M coming with its cluster munition, I move my tanks away. And they take a little bit of hits from the cluster, but they're still alive. I basically try to shoot any kind of machine gun at these Commandosis, including the GPM from the FB-432, as moving my tanks up to point-blank range to try to shoot the Commandosi. They are opening up with their RPGs. Centurion Avery is engaging with machine gun. I guess it's a little too close range for its actual main gun because that's not even trying to acquire. But with the 4 HE power and the direct hit, I do actually manage to kill the last of the Commandosi, but I do lose my Green Jacket. So this first attack, I was able to successfully repel and secure India with my HQ section, which I forgot to put into a building. Oh well. We also, Hotel Mama managed to seize Gulf, so we're at a +3 advantage. We just have to be mindful of what's going on as the LV-AT gets taken out by the Nanushka. It looks like it actually did scored a few direct hits on it, as Nanushka is burning a bit and has to fall back. And I finally see my HQ section is the wrong place, so I'm able to properly secure it. And again, we are bringing more reinforcements to try to shore up the defense in this area. The enemy so far hasn't captured very much. They are bringing in reinforcements. I can definitely see that with my Green Jackets here. As I am, have my Warrior Milan up in front so we can engage anything with its F2 that might try to come down here. But they lose sight of it just as they go along through here. So that is a little bit unfortunate. Milan 2 does see something. It's engaging, looks like one of these Scots. And lost line of sight at the last second as the Scots go scurry into the forest. One does get hit and taken out, and it looks like a rocket artillery cluster barrage is coming in with all of my tanks. That's actually really bad for me. I'm going to lose a lot of stuff here as I am unload all of my infantry as I can. So the enemy is definitely playing smart against me here. More reinforcements come in, going to have to unload them. Hopefully they don't get hit by a cluster. They get hit by a cluster, but they barely survive on the edge of it. Warrior Milan is trying to shoot at the VDV that are coming forward, but they are panicked and they attract the attention of 2 ATGMs, which take them out. Fusilier 90s are going to have to move forward as the VDV have gotten into here. My whole goal is to not get pushed out of India. And they did neutralize Gulf as well. They haven't neutralized India yet, but they're attempting to do that now. I'm moving all the Saxons up because every extra machine gun is an extra machine gun I can use. I'm also sending the Saxon up to see what the enemy has. And the answer is quite a bit. Milan 2 does take out something over there as they are preparing to engage other vehicles that are coming across. More ATGMs are coming forward from the BMD-3s, it looks like, as the VDV are actually doing a pretty good job at staying alive, as another rocket barrage comes in to try to take me out, and I am a little bit too clustered up, and it seems that I have the attention of pretty much everybody on the enemy team, except for maybe this guy over here. So I'm fighting 2 people at the moment, and my allies aren't quite helping, but I realize the lost cause when I see it, so I'm going to be reversing my infantry back as they're all panicked up, trying to get them away from the Commandosi. The Green Jackets do kind of stay as a rear guard action, but they get cut up pretty quickly from the sheer amount of firepower that the Commandosi have. But I bring in a GR3, fire the rocket barrage into that, and they actually get away scot-free. That's actually pretty annoying, and it gets shot down for its troubles. So overall, not the best kind of approach to this, but I do actually take out... What did I take out here? A Tunguska. So I did take out the Tunguska. That was worth it there. It looks like Hotel Mama is engaging with K9 artillery, taking out the Urals there, as the enemy is swarming forward more infantry, as I need to try to figure out how to keep myself alive. I'm firing some, looks like some smoke, some mortars here into the forest to keep the Commandosi's heads down, to keep them from moving forward. The VDV are also there as well. They're actually getting pretty close to the mortars that I was bringing in. But I'm bringing in more Centurion AVREs and Chieftain Mark IIs. These things will absolutely destroy any infantry that get in their way with their high HE power and with their front armor being strong enough to resist just the regular VDVs, RPGs from the front. So they will still be able to get the fight off. Fusilier 90s are engaging the VDV. Unfortunately, they are going to get cut down because VDV are pretty shock trained compared to those Fusiliers. Mortars are opening up on the VDV as the SAS also move up with their M16s to help the Fusiliers try to take out the VDV, and they successfully do that. So this is the last that I have. They are seeing that I have stuff here, so they are starting to cluster as well. My Stormer, my Chieftain, Mark 11, all of it is in terrible trouble as they are doing a very good job of using recon and everything to basically keep this all pinned down. A KA-52 is moving up, trying to see what my radar is, but I don't have any radar EAA, so joke's on him. Looks like we've got some tanks moving up. One showed its side armor and completely got destroyed. It looks like some kind of T-55. So that was a good shot from the Milan 2. The Milan did an excellent job early on. I remember that. Bunch of the vehicles are coming in to bring in more infantry, as the SAS did fire their stingers and managed to stun the KA-52, but is still alive. But these SAS just reminded them they don't want to come anywhere close to me. I'm going to hold this sector as long as I can. We have an aircraft coming in. It looks like a bomber. MiG-25 does get shot down by the SAS, but the bomb does pretty much wipe out all of my infantry that I just brought in, except for the ones that were still in the building, in the vehicles, that were able to stay alive because they used the armor of the vehicles to keep them alive. So I still have a bunch of infantry left as the Commandosi are coming. Hotel Mama told me what I was expecting, that I had these Lynx AH-7s in position, ready to open up the moment they revealed themselves. And they realized, oh, there's still a whole bunch of infantry here. Yes, there is. They're bringing more smoke here. I'm not entirely sure why they're bringing smoke here. Artillery from the K9 is coming in there as well. I am moving my stuff up. My Saxton is getting hit. I hope he does stop firing. He does. Alright, so that's the last shell. So he's pushed all the way to the building as my infantry are preparing to move up as they bring on a smoke screen. And I decide, you know what, this is kind of a good idea to just sit back and let my troops unpanic themselves, calm down a bit as they bring another rocket artillery barrage down here into the forest. So there's a lot of... I'm receiving a lot of indirect fire and frontal assaults, and even though I am losing quite a bit, I am weathering the storm here. India is the +1 that was keeping us in. They did manage to capture Alpha, so we are now at +0, but I am still holding the sector, despite all of my continuous barrage from 2 different players. artillery and otherwise, and rocket artillery and direct assaults. And as they try to move forward with their helicopters, I did lose track of my Chieftain Mark 11, so that's probably going to die. Unfortunate. I was made aware of it, of course, with the alert. So my Stormer is in position, ready to take out any helicopters that might try to come forward. And I'm bringing up some Stalwarts. Now, Stalwarts have the advantage. They are amphibious. Yes, they don't carry as much supply as anything, but I don't have to go across the bridge. I can actually come over here, go down into this riverbed, and stay kind of hidden while resupplying all my troops who are on the shore. So that's the general strategy with the Stalwarts that I'm going to try to do, as it looks like Hotel Mama is aiming with its rocket artillery, its Kurongs, to try to go and attack this forest. My troops aren't really in any position to actually launch an attack, so I can't actually take advantage of this. I am firing some smoke here, and I think it's to try to break the line, to cover the line of sight, yes, to cover my Stalwarts, which are coming across the river in order to resupply my troops into this town here, because I know they're keeping an eye on the bridge, or anything that comes across this road will die being shot here. But the Stalwarts are able to cross the river unseen and able to get in here to resupply my troops. That's the grand strategy of the Stalwarts. Another cluster barrage, but joke's on them. My Stormer is already moving out, as they are dropping a lot of artillery in, and it looks like they are trying to kill the Kurong. That is, well, they did over the fob. My Lynx AH-7 is flying into the middle of the cluster and manages to fly straight out. Again, all my troops are still worried, and they need to repair up from the Stalwarts, as the Stalwarts are beginning to come across into the water here to get across to the enemy infantry. A bunch of vehicles are moving up, but joke's on them. All my troops are just instantly resupplied. SAS, Gurkhas are moving up to be able to engage the VDV, as well as the Scots 2As are instantly going to be chewed up, as the Commandosi are also immediately panicked as well. Mortars are coming in. I'm going to try to count on the buildings to keep them alive, to keep these Commandosi out. Commandosi get into the SAS, and there's a temporary lull in the fight as neither side knows where they are. SAS are going to be quickly torn apart, though, from the Commandosi. I do hope I switch them over, unless I am preoccupied by something else, and I do. I switch the SAS back as I move the Gurkhas forward to be able to take on the Commandosi. My Milan 2 does get into fighting range with the Commandosi and is taking quite a few hits. Does die. That is unfortunate, but I'm going to try to hold off as much as I can. Fusiliers don't actually see the Commandosi, but that's fine. As soon as the smoke clears, they should be able to kill the vehicles with the Law 80s. As I actually have a bunch of tracked rapiers, and I had no idea these were spotted until they started bordering them, so I'm starting to lose these as well. As you can tell, I'm a little rusty at this game. I'm not playing, like, amazing super Razman level here. The Commandosis, even despite panicked and being ambushed, are actually doing a pretty good job of being able to hold off the Gurkhas. Of course, they are 4-mans to my Gurkhas too, and the Fusiliers haven't been fighting this whole time. I probably didn't even notice that. As they're also doing a amphibious landing over here on the left side as well. So I need to be aware of the enemy forces moving forward. These are still repairing up, as the Milan 2 is going to be engaging across the river to try to take out these vehicles. But it looks like it lost line of sight. Fusilier 90s engaging with the Law 80 are being stunned up. So it looks like this position is going to fall pretty soon, especially if the Milan 2 keeps missing. BMD-3s are coming across, and we are 243 points to their 0, but it looks like they're finally doing a concentrated and organized assault to try to overrun my position, as I don't know exactly what the rest of my allies are doing, but they're not helping me, except for the occasional artillery fire, that's for sure. Using some smoke that I dropped down, I'm pushing my Fusiliers across to try to engage with the Commandosi, as the FV-432s are also going to try to engage and try to keep them occupied. Stormers are still being occupied. I have no idea. Okay, I'm actually curious. What recon? A BRM-1K was able to spot all that with his exceptional optics. Okay, now I am aware of that. Alright, so going back, I'm getting another rocket artillery barrage that they are bringing in, as well as the MiG-29M with its 500-kilogram bombs are coming in. My track rapiers are the radar off as they're trying to get away. And the MiG-25 gets a... Nope, he barely gets shot down at the last second. as the bombs came in, and Chieftain Mark 1 managed to take out the BMD-3. Probably not expecting that in the forest there, so I was lucky on that regard. I still hold India, even though they've managed to take over half the sector there. Don't feel comfortable enough bringing in a CV, so we're still at a +0 at this point, as we are still trying to hold off the enemy forces every which way. More reinforcements and Saxons. I think I have the SAS in this, or Gurkhas, probably. FB-432 are being taken are under attack still by the Commandosis. The Gurkhas try to open up with the Mini-Me. So Pels are trying to retreat as the Milan 2 does take one out. And they actually backed up into the artillery of one of my allies, which kind of missed a little bit. Gurkhas were indeed in the Saxons. They get knocked out, they get shaken, whereas the Commandosis are the biggest problem that I'm trying to deal with as I'm moving the Gurkhas up. MiG-25 is going to drop bombs, so goodbye Gurkhas, but at least it does get taken out by the SAS. So they are losing planes pretty quickly, and we are bringing in our planes as well, but I am taking the front of basically all the attack. Cluster munition is coming over here as I drop off some Fusiliers to try to clear out this forest, see if I can get any more land back and try to keep delaying the enemy as long as I possibly can. More artillery coming in on that Sopel. Sopel is actually driving back into the artillery, but the artillery is kind of wide-shotting it, so it does miss. As my Fusiliers and SAS are in the forest, but they're being backed up quickly by yet another Centurion AVRE. So, huge explosion is back on the menu. I parked it here on the bridge because I wanted to shoot at any Commandosis that might shoot at the Fusiliers as they come across. Centurion Mark 11 sees the BM R1K as it disappears actually briefly because we lost the line of sight of it. So we're going to have to retreat because MI-4A with its massive amount of rocket pods is going to be quite a bit of a problem. Centurion AVRE actually can't see them because there's this little building right here, but finally acquired line of sight, and Commandosis are gone. So they've been excavated out with the mine clearing effect of the Centurion AVRE, as the BMD-3 I see it over here with the Fusilier 90. So again, I'm just trying to hold on with my fingernails here and just trying to keep the enemy back as much as possible. SAS revealed that there are Commandosi right here, so I do need to retreat those SAS back. More smoke comes up as there are Commandosi still in the fight here. Need to be aware of that. More Saxons coming in as the helicopters and everything are taking out the Fusilier 90s as I'm moving the Green Jackets kind of into a position to hold off the enemy forces as they try to come across the river. Those BMP 685s are amphibious. Fusiliers find the CV in the enemy, so they do have neutralized this area, but fortunately, Hydro has actually neutralized Alpha as well. And it looks like they moved to CV again because we are now at a +1 for the moment as the Gurkhas try to move forward. Centurion AVRE gets smoked out, so it can't actually engage. It moves forward using its machine gun at the moment. And I thought I would have stopped it by now, but oh well. They're trying to basically hold off the enemy forces as yet another huge rocket artillery barrage is coming in to try to raid death over on me on India. India is neutralized, but again with the neutralization of Alpha, and that is a Sovereign. So I know where the last guy put all of his points in, trying to engage the Lafayette. It definitely has the advantage. The Lafayette doesn't stand a chance, especially with the Jangu 3 coming in, so that Lafayette does need to retreat. There's a Spetsnaz VMF that was discovered by a Cobra, as some F-11Gs are going for the Sovereign. No, don't, especially with the Yak-141. No, that's bad. That's bad. The Sovereign can hit the F-11Gs with its air defense. Okay, the Yak-141's dead. That is a lot of planes. I think I know where all my allies' points went to. Okay, so there's a lot of planes. And he surrendered, even though he has a Sovereign. He had a Sovereign. Okay, so now it is 3-on-2. So my allies actually took out one of the players. They were focusing him on the sea, while I was trying to hold off the enemy on the land and barely holding them off. But now they're starting to break through as an LAV scout is actually engaging a BMP 685. And actually it has medium stealth, so they're actually having trouble seeing it until then, and then it just got taken out. Chieftain Mark II in the fight. able to take that out as the Commandosi do retreat as another plane is taken out. 2 Su-27Ss are flying around. I don't know why they actually have them circling around. The air spawn's right here. You can literally get them into a fight pretty much immediately. M60 A1s. That's something you don't normally see. Hydro has him in the fight. I don't think he might be playing a Marine deck, but I don't think he is. Another ship went down. Looks like the Nanushka got destroyed, probably from a airplane strike as well. Lafayette was also lost. So now, Pumas are launching against the Jangu 3s. And actually took quite a few hits. Pumas, Super Pumas, actually pretty good. Hotel said don't push here. And I'm like, you're probably right. I should get into defense. So Chieftain Mark IIs are actually reversing across the bridge. I don't want any sneaky infantry RPGing them. So they're actually in the full reverse here as we try to hold this position. Again, we're at +0. As long as we can hold this +0, we should get the advantage eventually. Jangu 3 is actually not in the sector, but there is a CV probably on this island here because we have an LAV C2 and the Alpha is still unsecured. The SU-27s are bingo, so we're not going to see them for a little bit. I'm dropping mortar here. I'm pretty sure I saw something, so I'm just trying to see if I can dislodge it. I know there's a CV in India, but I'm trying to hold on to it. And they're getting ready for another push as well as I'm moving the Milan 2 back. They are launching smoke, so I am expecting their attack to begin. And not a moment too soon as the F-32s, V-32s are coming forward with Fusiliers. MiG-25 RBF is dropping a bunch of bombs and actually take out a couple of vehicles carrying my Fusiliers. So they're all panicked, but at least all the squads survived. And I say that as a cluster munition is coming in. Chieftain Mark IIs are in retreat. HQ are actually engaging with their machine gun. That was a bit of a mistake on my part. So they are revealed. I am going to lose this HQ soon, and they are finally up to the +1 as the Milans actually taking out the BMP 685s, but they're at such an angle that they can't see the rest of them as more vehicles are coming across. Mi-4V is going to try to engage rocket pods against the M60A1 as the M60 is trying to get across there. GR3 coming forward and barely misses the Commandosi as they hopped over. Fusiliers and SAS are trying to engage the Commandosi as best they can as the Lynx AH-7 is doing what it can with the rocket pod, but it did run out. Chieftain Mark II is falling back into the forest so that it can provide a better, a more safe area to fire its rounds, or it's just continuing to fall back. So they have secured India. They are now pushing forward with their vehicles as well as the Super Cobra lost track of the tank as they are going forward helicopters against everything. Lynx is actually moving up with Stinger. Lynx 3 firing. Takes out the Akula. There's the Super Cobra. Takes out the Mi-4. Lynx 3 is moving back as they're still trying to come forward. They are in danger of pushing forward to the enemy. My allies are going to start to try to shore me up as they're also still trying to take out the Jangu 3 with artillery and what have you. Okay, so that's going on. Another Jangu 3, this time coming from Cheesy Cheese, so he's taken over from the sea. They are split. They are getting, I think, more points overall between the two of them as they do successfully cross and take over my building here as I'm moving my Milans up to try to intercept any enemy forces. But the BMP are still there. Nanion CKG is going to engage the Scott 2 a.m. Take them out. The Guskas are providing a little bit of problem here as we also need to take them out. As my Fusiliers are holding off one last stand, but the Spadonitsyneri are I don't really know how to pronounce it properly, but they're cutting through my Fusiliers. They're one step down from the Commandosi. So India has successfully fallen, and we need to basically figure out how we're going to resecure this. Su-27Ss are coming in. They're engaging the KF-16s, and the KF-16s do successfully escape. That is at least a relief. This time I'm finally bringing in the big stuff, the Challenger 1s, the to try to hold off the enemy better. T-72BU is across taking out enemy forces as an F-18A Hornet's coming in. Does take out the T-72. So it did do its job, though I usually prefer the C due to just the better missiles and more missiles overall. Mi-24P is actually being hit by the LAV-25, and it can't see it because, again, it has actually poor stealth. So I guess the Mi-24P has poor optics. Kurongs are actually going to be rocket artillery, so they're not going to be around for much longer. I'm moving the Challenger 1 Mark II up to keep them from pushing forward into our area. The Jangu 3 is in position. They're still at the +1. So they might have a chance of actually winning this still. As Cheesy Cheese brings up another Jangu 3, it looks like the one over here did die. Jangu 3 is under attack and gets taken out by the Tram Intruders. So they're actually now sacrificing points to Alpha. We still have a huge presence in Alpha, but we still need to secure this tree line here in order to actually get back into this fight. Moving the Centurion AVRE, I'm hoping that's out of range of RPGs, as I'm still not giving up. Want to try to keep pushing into India, see if I can get some momentum back. Challenger 1 Mark II is moving up against 2 Sokols. The Sokols appeared as I was actually probably looking for those BMPs and anything else. So BMPs are actually on the side of the Challenger 1, and there's an internal ammo explosion. So the Challenger 1 is actually completely helpless and gets taken out. So that was unfortunate on my part. Bad luck all around. They're still trying to push forward here, but the M60s are actually doing a good job firing back, taking out the elite recon unit here, but vulnerable to the Su-25T, which actually takes quite a few missiles and is stunned up, and the KF-16Cs do actually take out the Su-25T, so that is a 200-point unit that we don't have to worry about. So now they're starting to get a little overconfident due to how much they pushed over into India. They still only have a +1. So again, we need to be mindful that we're not in a winning position, even though we have more points at the moment. Su-25K is coming up. This is a little cheaper. It's obviously going for my Stormer, as my Stormer was going up for the Sokol. Tomcats are moving in. I actually stunned up the Su-25K. As my Stormer actually hits the BMP-6 and does quite a bit of damage. Su-25K is flying overhead. Short arrows moving, so it didn't actually fire. But Hawk Pips do manage to take it out. Centurion AVRE took a bit of a rocket RPGs near it. Engaging on target, fires, and does quite a bit of damage and stunning them up. BMPs also still presenting a problem. I need to move the Fusiliers up. They have 700 meters, so I'm hoping I can get them in range. A Phantom 2 is coming in, probably bringing some napalm. Yes, it is. Nanion Shiki-G is also in position as my Challenger 1 also ready to shoot any enemy infantry that might come forward. BMP are retreating due to my Fusiliers being a little too close, and again I am being cut up pretty quickly as I'm bringing forward another Challenger 1. And again, we're just trying to secure India or neutralize it or something. T-72B is coming across as well. As my attack completely failed. Unfortunate. Nanion Shiki-Chi loses sight, so those ATGMs are missed. Su-25K is going for my Challenger 1, but again, the KF-16 do stun it. So its guided ATGM does miss its target. So we are baiting out all of their planes, taking out their planes one after the other after the other. Elevate AT tried to engage a T-72. He didn't realize the T-72 would acquire it, but I am bringing up my Lynx 3 to try to take out the T-72B. And it looks like instead I'm engaging BTRDs with Hellfires and BRDM3s. My Lynx 3 just does not know which useless thing to target until finally I tell it to manually target the T-72B. More Hellfires are coming forward as another T-70... Oh no, that's a BR-1K is up. Peace Pheasant 2 is forward, but unfortunately I did see there's some Tunguskas across. Prowler does see the Tunguska, so that's a goodbye Tunguska there. Challenger 1 Mark II is also trying to hold off them from coming across into Echo. So I'm just trying to put up a strong line of defense. 7 minutes, still +1. We have to make a move here. Challenger 1 Mark II over here is also holding off the enemy force as best they can, but it does have its side. It does an ATGM to the side as well, so it did die. Again, that is tragic. Prowler takes out another radar. So this is actually a pretty close game, especially since I don't normally play Conquest. So I'm a little out of my element. Looks like they're bringing up yet another plane in the terms of a Jangu 3. As a couple of Lynx AH-7s have been rearmed, so they do have rocket pods, as I am preparing more defenses. I think I've given up actually trying to reconquer India, or at least try to push them out, as we're just, again, a little bit more lull in the fighting at the moment. Lynx AH-7s are actually taking hits by the, what are those, Grisettes? Oh, Prommels. So I did lose both Lynx AH-7s. I don't know why I was moving them over there. It's been too long. Challenger 1 is doing its job, trying to shoot at the FJBs that are charming across. LAV-25s are coming forward, but an SU-25K is coming, but again, they don't learn. We have Air Force, so we did lose a Tomcat out of that. We still killed another SU-25K, as my Challenger 1 Mark II, which was retreating in order to survive, goes back into the forest, but it is revealed, so there is some kind of recon that's going on here, and I am bringing up some tracked Rapier SFAs, which do have the radar off, of course. So another rocket barrage. I think we're just trying to guess where the CV is, or where the enemy force is air into the forest, but I don't think they actually have anything there. So another rocket artillery barrage coming forward. They're engaging our TOW here. The KA-52 is a little bit out of range. The FJBs get revealed into the smoke and get cut down to pieces quickly by the LAV-25 Scout, and they're bringing in an Udaloy, which cannot shoot enemy anti-sea planes with its missiles. They can only use it to stop them incoming anti-ship missiles. So, a lot less scary than a Sovereign Mini. And we've got cluster munitions. I don't know why the cluster munitions are here. Hits my Challenger 1 directly. Hits it again. Why? Unless probably they were firing the K9s there. And my Challenger 1 Mark II survives being cluster bombed. And now he gets to sit there until the FOBs eventually repair him. So I'm just having all the worst luck of going on here. Another rocket artillery barrage coming in. They're making excellent use of the rocket artillery. It looks like they're going to begin to try to push across into Delta to try to quickly secure the win. It's coming nail-bitingly close. They have 4 minutes, and we are 100 points up. So Super Pumas come forward, but I think the Super Pumas are actually in the range of the anti-air missiles. Oh, and the tram intruder does die, but the Su-25S does get taken out. Looks like the Udaloy just shot down all the Super Puma's missiles as well. So they have been slowly taking out our anti-ship missiles slowly, so we're not going to get Alpha anytime soon. So it's basically, don't lose what we've got. We have a lot of troops here that aren't actually doing anything. It would have been nice if we could have done a way we could do a flanking action into Gulf from here, but again, I don't think there was really an easy way to just do a coordinated strike across Gulf from there. Looks like we've got some more Urals bringing in some supplies and troops. So we have to be mindful here as a couple more helicopters moving up. Stinger is engaging, but misses with its first shot. Short Arrow is engaging as well, also misses with its shot. Navy SEALs actually hit the ammo box of one of them, so they're probably that's going to get taken out. That's also going to get taken out by the Stinger C. No idea why they brought the helicopters across. If they are bringing forward the T-72B, it's actually repairing up. And my Lynx 3 is just chilling back here waiting to be used. M1A1HC Abrams is forward, so he might actually have a Marine deck. That would indeed be interesting. F-18 Hornet engages with its Maverick missiles, takes out the T-72 as the Navy SEALs try to hold off the enemy who are coming across. Fortunately, the frag grenades will take out the infantry as looks like the Seahawk takes out the vehicle, so Navy SEALs will win that handily. And again, we're just stalling out. 2 minutes. We actually might make this. As long as we don't lose anything more. Another missile barrage coming in. The Udaloy is actually taking some hits, and it's panicked. So that is concerning. A Yak 141 is trying to come in, but all the planes are out, so that succeeds. We are out of anti-aircraft missiles. They've been firing against so many helicopters here on the left. I'm bringing a Stormer. I am just in a full defensive position, trying to stall the enemy, make sure they don't try to make one last push, because there's usually like one last push within the last 2 minutes of a game from either side, and it looks like they're doing it over here onto the bridge, coming forward. Mi-4A is also coming forward to use a bunch of their rockets in order to try to help out the enemy force as well. Seahawk takes out one of the Scott 2s. Other Scott 2s taken out as the Navy SEALs are sitting back. Frag grenades ready to take out any infantry that might come forward. BMP, come forward. Challenger 1 says hi. Gets rid of it. Iglas are actually found hiding in the little forest here as the M1A1s just machine gunned them down to death. And another BMP is taken out. So we are starting to get a little bit of pushback against them. We are countering their push by counter-pushing ourselves. M1AC Abrams is actually engaging the VDV who can't, I think they either are out of RPGs or just out of range. No, they should be within range, so they get taken out. MiG-29 is actually coming in as looks like we're doing one final barrage that you see against an Udaloy. That's kind of a bad idea. MiG-29 coming in to shoot at all of our planes. Trying to get the last kill that we can possibly can as missiles are flying left and right. Everything is dying and getting away at the same time. Cluster munition, looking for our CV, but joke's on them. We still have the CV back here. 10, 9, 8. We are getting so close. The points are really starting to tick up. 245, 248, and there we have it. It's a draw, but we barely win by a matter of 6 points. And as you can see, I did terribly with the kills and losses. I did get killed quite a bit, but I was also the biggest losses on the team. My allies definitely had a much bigger kill to loss ratio, but then again, I was kind of the front line against two determined enemies moving forward. But our enemies, they actually didn't get that good a ratio either. This guy actually has a worse loss. Is it? Let me do quick math here. Yeah, it's actually worse. It's worse than me. Meat Horse also, while he got positive, he was only positive by 1,000. So, yeah, Milan 2s tried to hold their own, and I definitely tried to hold off and stall the enemy as best I could. My SAS did shoot down a number of their MiG-25 RBF, so thank you, SAS. And it's just a bit more varied. The Chieftain Mark IIs are basically engaging all the cheap stuff. I used a lot of cheap stuff early on, and then I used the more expensive Challenger 1s and stuff by the end. I even brought in a couple AS-90s to counteract their constant rocket artillery barrage and stuff. But, yep, that's my showcase for Britain. I'm practicing for Warno. I'm going to see about trying to get more of these actually done. Let's hope my schedule allows for that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video.